Hello everyone, today I'm going to be solving sections 3.1 to 3.5 for the Algebra Periodic. Start with 3.1. The first question, we have the expression x squared minus 4 over x squared plus 9. We need to find what value of x will make the expression defined. To make it defined, we need to make the denominator not equal to 0. So x squared plus 9 should not be equal to 0. And here it's x squared plus 9. When it's a square plus a square, or just a square plus another number, then it's impossible to make it equal to 0. Because if we put a square is always positive no matter what value. So let's say we try to put negative 3. Negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. Plus 9 is 18. So this is why the x squared plus 9 will never be equal to 0, which means that the expression is defined for all values of x, for all real values. For the next question, we have to find again the same when this is undefined. The first expression, 12x minus 6 over x minus 6 times x plus 12. So to make the expression undefined, the denominator has to be 0. So here it wants the expression to be undefined, so it has to be equal to 0. And since these two are multiplying each other, technically it's just x minus 6 equals 0. We can do like this, or we can do like this. X minus 6 equals 0, or x plus 12 equals 0. So here we can move the 6 to the other side, and it'll become x equals 6. Here we can move the 12 to the other side, we can get x equals negative 12. If we substitute 6 in x, we'll have 6 minus 6 multiplied by 6 plus 12. So 0 multiplied by 18, it will be equal to 0. So that means it will be undefined. If you try that with negative 12, you'll get negative 12 minus 6 multiplied by 0, so minus 18 multiplied by 0, you get 0 as well, which means the expression is undefined for both of these values, 6 and negative 12. For the next expression, we have x over x squared minus 225. Here we need to first factor the denominator so that it could be in simplest form. So here this is difference of two squares, x squared minus 15 squared. So we can simplify this into x minus 15 into x plus 15 equals 0 because we want it to be undefined. Again, we can do x minus 15 equals 0 and x plus 15 equals 0. Move negative 15 to the other side, we get x equals 15. We can move 15 to the other side, we get x equals negative 15. If we substitute, let's say 15 into the bottom equations, we get 15 minus 15, or 0, multiplied by 15 plus 15, or 30. We get 0. If we do it with negative, we can get negative 15 minus 15 multiplied by minus 15 plus 15. So we get negative 30 multiplied by 0. This will be equal to 0. So x over x squared minus 225 is undefined for values of x 15 and negative 15. For the last expression, we have x squared minus 10x plus 25 over negative x squared plus 2x plus 15. So we have needs to be undefined, so that means we only focus on the denominator again. So to make it easier, we need to make this x squared positive. So we take the minus sign outside, and it'll be x squared minus 2x minus 15. Then we can factor this using box method. X and x, factors of 15, let's say 5 and 3. Multiply this and this, get 5x and 3x. We need to add or subtract them to make negative 2x. We can do minus 5x plus 3x, so that means we put a minus sign next to 5. Multiply x and x, you get x squared. Multiply negative 5 and 3, you get negative 15. So that means we can use this negative outside, x minus 5, x plus 3 equals 0. And then we use the formula x minus 5 equals 0, x plus 3 equals 0 to find the values of x. So x minus 5 equals 0, x plus 3 equals 0. Move negative 5 to the other side, you get x equals 5. Move 3 to the other side, you get x equals negative 3. Substitute that in there, you get a 5 and you get 5 minus 5 multiplied by 5 plus 3 multiplied by negative 1. So you get 0 times 8 times negative 1 from this negative sign over here. If you multiply anything by 0, it will always be 0, so the answer is 0. So that's one of the values. If we do it with negative 3, negative 3, so it will be negative 8 multiplied by 0 multiplied by negative 1. So it will multiply, you get 0, which means that the values of x to make this expression undefined is 5 and negative 3. For the next question, we have to find the simplest form of 15 minus 3t over 5t. 15 minus 3t over 5t. Here in the numerator, we have a constant subtracting, a variable subtracted from a constant over a variable. So in this case, we cannot factor it because they're being subtracted. It's one block, not separate blocks. These are one block because they're being subtracted, which means that it's already in simplest form. We cannot simplify it anymore. What is the simplest form of 15 minus 3t over 5 minus t? Here we both the numerator and denominator have a constant minus variable, so in the numerator we can simplify this. We can simplify by 3, divide 15 by 3, you get 5, divide minus 3t by 3, you get minus t over 5 minus t. Now we can simplify 5 minus t and 5 minus t. Final answer will be 3, and t cannot be 5, because 5 minus t cannot be equal to 0. So we move negative 5 to the other side. It will be minus t equals minus 5. Remove the minus sign, so t cannot be equal to 5. 3, simplest form is 3, t is not equal to 5. Next question, we have to find simplest form of t squared plus 4 over t plus 2. Here at the top it's t squared plus 4. This is already in simplest form. We cannot cancel this. We cannot factor this at all. Bottom t plus 2, you cannot factor this as well, meaning this is already in simplest form, cannot be simplified more. Which of the following statements are true about 3x over x into x plus 2? Here we take the denominator because we have to find whether the expression undefined at certain value or undefined at certain value. So we don't factor anything, we don't cancel out anything with the numerator, we just take this bottom denominator and we do x plus 2 is equal to 0. Now I can do x equals 0 or x plus 2 equals 0. So we already have one of the values, x is equal to 0 to make it undefined. Or we move 2 to the other side, it will become x equals negative 2 to make it undefined. Now we substitute the values, so 0 into 0 plus 2, so 0 multiplied by 2 equals 0. Or if we put negative 2, we have negative 2 multiplied by negative 2 plus 2. So negative 2 times 0, you get 0 as well, which means that it's undefined at values of negative 2 and 0. For this question, we have to find the excluded values of y in the expression 2y plus 6 over 4 minus y squared. Excluded values of y means this, so that the expression is undefined. And so that means we take the bottom, the denominator only, we factor it. Here we have difference of two squares. We have 2 squared minus y squared. The variable can be in any position. It can be in the left and the right. It doesn't matter, as long as the first number is a square and the second number is a square, then it's difference of two squares. So we have 2 minus y into 2 plus y equals 0 because we need to be undefined. So now we have to find the values. 2 minus y equals 0, 2 plus y equals 0. We move, for the first equation we get moved 2 to the other side, get minus y equals negative 2, remove the minus sign, get y equals to 2. In the second one, we move 2 to the other side, equals y is equal to negative 2. We substitute, let's say, 2 in, so we get 2 minus 2 into 2 plus 2. So we get 0 multiplied by 4 equals 0. If we substitute negative 2 in, we get 2 minus negative 2 multiplied by 2 plus negative 2. So we get 4 multiplied by 0, we get 0. So the excluded values of y will be 2 and negative 2. For this question, we have to find which of the rational expressions are in simplest form. The first rational expression is x cubed minus 8 over x cubed. Simplest form means you cannot cancel out after factoring any part of the denominator and the numerator together. So for the first, we get x cubed minus 8. We can factor the numerator by using a minus b into a squared plus ab plus b squared. Let me fix it. And then you can change the values. So since this is x cubed minus 8, so it's x cubed minus 2 cubed. So x will be a and 2 will be b. So x minus 2 into x squared plus 2x plus 4. All of this will be over x cubed. Even after factoring, we can't find anything that we can simplify x cubed with. So that means this expression is in simplest form. The next rational expression is 36p squared q over 108. Here the top is already factored, we don't need to factor it. The bottom is a singular constant, but we can factor the numerator with the denominator using 36 and 108. They're both divisible by 36. Divide 36 by 36, you get 1, and then you can divide this, you can get 3. Because you simplified the numerator and the denominator, this expression is not in simplest form, because now we have p squared q over 3 instead of the old rational expression. It's different, and that means it's not in simplest form. Next expression is 3x over 7y. We check, can we simplify with the variables? X is different from y. We cannot simplify the variables. Now I check the constants. 3 and 7. Can we simplify? No. So that means this expression is in simplest form. We cannot change anything from it. Next rational expression is 6 minus 3z over 2 minus z. First, to double check, we have to factor the numerator to double check if we can factor. So if we can simplify, sorry. Here the top 6 and 3z both have a common factor of 3. So you can put 3 outside and it'll be 2 minus z over 2 minus z. So you can cancel out 2 minus z and 2 minus z, and you'll get the final answer is 3. 3 is way different than this old rational expression, which means that it's not in simplest form because you cancelled out 2 minus z from the numerator and the denominator. My SCP reloaded, so now I have a different order of answers. But remember, we answered exactly the first 4 here. So I'm gonna move on and answer the next one. So next rational expression is s power 3 plus 1 over s squared plus 1. We can factor the numerator by doing the s cubed plus 1 cubed. We can make s plus 1 into s squared minus s plus 1 cubed, so it's just going to be 1. This will all be over s squared plus 1. We can't cancel anything out, so that means it's already in simplest form. We can't do anything. That's simplest form. Next rational expression is x squared plus 2x over x plus 2. So for the next question, here the numerator we can factor x squared plus 2x. They have a common factor x, so we take x out. We get x into x plus 2 over x plus 2. So you can cancel out x plus 2 and x plus 2. You get x is the final answer, and it's completely different from this, so this is not in simplest form. So that means these three rational expressions are the ones that are in simplest form. We have to find which rational expression is in simplest form again. So we take x squared y power 8 over x. For this one, we can just cancel out x with one of the x's up, so we remove the power. So we get x y power 8. This is not in simplest form, that means. Next expression, 4y over x. We can't simplify the variables or the constants, which means this is in simplest form because we can't do anything to it. Next, 9x squared y over 3. We can simplify 9 and 3, so it will be 3, 1. So we'll be left with 3x squared y, which is different from this because we simplified the numerator with a part of the denominator. So this is not in simplest form. Next, we have y over x. We can't do anything to factor out or cancel any of the numerator within denominator, so it means it's in simplest form. For this question, it has a lot of steps. So we have the expression 4 over x minus 5. The equivalent form will be x k plus a over 4x squared plus 4x minus 120. So the first step will be making the first denominator change into the second denominator. For that, we need to take this and factor it. So there's a common factor 4, so we can take it out. And then we're left with x squared plus x minus 30. We can factor this using box method. We have x and x. 30 can be split into 6 and 5 to make it, and then we cross multiply, we get 6x, 5x. Now you can subtract or add in any way to make it equal to x. So we can make it 6x minus 5x. So put the minus here. X times x is equal to x squared. 6 times negative 5 is equal to negative 30. So that means that, well, the denominator in simplest form is 4x plus 6 into x minus 5. And the old denominator was x minus 5. To change x minus 5 into this, we multiply x minus 5 by 4x plus 6. So I multiply the numerator here, which is 4, by 4 and x plus 6. So that means 4 times 4 is 16, x plus 6 over this denominator. Not this. So let me write the denominator, 4x plus 6, x minus 5. And then that's it. We have the same form. 16 x plus 6 is in the same form as k x plus a. So I have to find the value of a and k now. So here k is in the 16's place and a is in 6's place. That means a is 6 and k is 16. For this question, we have to find the simplest form of the expression m squared minus 6m plus 9 over m squared minus 7m plus 12. In simplest form, it should be written as m minus a over m minus b. Let me just fix this a. So we have to factor both of the expressions using box method. So let's do the numerator. M and m. 9 will be 3 and 3. So 3m, 3m after doing cross multiplication. To make it negative 6m, we do minus 3m, so minus here and here. M times m is m squared, and negative 3 times negative 3 is 9. So that means we can make the numerator m minus 3 over the denominator. Now we can do box method using the denominator. So we have m and m. 12 can be 4 and 3. 4m, 3m. To make it negative 7m, we can make minus 4m minus 3m. So put minus here and minus here. M times m is m squared. Negative 4 times negative 3 is equal to positive 12. So that means the denominator is m minus 4 into m minus 3. We can cancel out m minus 3 with m minus 3, and we're left with m minus 3 over m minus 4, which is also the same form as this. So that means we replaced a with 3, and we replaced b with 4. So a is equal to 3 and b is equal to 4. Here we have to take the expressions in column A, simplify them into simplest form, and then match it with its simplest form in column B. First expression is 4b squared over 24ab cubed. So here you can simplify 4 and 24, 1 over 6. We can simplify b squared and b cubed, meaning it will be 1 over b. And a stays the same, so it will be 1 over 6ab. Is that an option? Yes, it is. So this and this. 1 over 6ab is the simplest form of this. Next expression, we have 15a cubed over 90ab squared. Here we can cancel out 15 and 90, being 1 and 6. A cubed and a will become like this. It will become a squared over 1. So we're left with a squared over 6b squared, because b squared doesn't change. That is an option. So that means that a squared over 6b squared is the simplest form of this. Now for the last one, even though it's the last option, I'm still going to explain it. 72ab cubed over 12a squared b squared. We can simplify 72 with 12, it'll become 6 and 1. We can remove a and a squared, it'll become 1 over a. B cubed over b, remove the power of this. So b power 1, so just b. So we have 6b over a. Is this an option? Yes. So that means 6b over a is the simplest form of this. That's your mistakes. Now we're gonna do the 3.2 quiz. Here, first question, it says in simplest form, we have the rational expression y squared plus 14y plus 49 over 3y plus 9 divided by y plus 7 over y plus 3. So first, when we have a division with two fractions, we need to keep, change, flip, where we keep the first rational expression the same, change the sign into multiplication, change, and flip the last rational expression. So that's KCF. So now we can rewrite this as y squared plus 14y plus 49 over 3y plus 9 multiplied by y plus 3 over y plus 7. We can factor this first expression using the box method. y 7 cross multiply, you get 7y and 7y. You can add them both to make 14y. So that means we can factor this as y plus 7 squared, because y plus 7 and y plus 7 make y plus 7 squared, over, let me rewrite, y plus 7 squared over, you can factor the denominator by 3, so 3y plus 3 multiplied by y plus 3 over y plus 7. You can cancel out y plus 3, one of the y plus 7's from up and the y plus 7 plus down, from down. So we're left with y plus 7 over 3. And here in the question they ask us to write it in the form y plus a over b. Here you have y plus 7 over 3. So a will be 7 and b will be 3. Here we need to multiply m squared minus 16 over m squared minus 10m plus 25 by m minus 5 over m plus 4. So we started factoring m squared plus 16, it's difference of two squares, so it's going to be m squared minus 4 squared. We can rewrite this as m minus 4 into m plus 4, and the bottom would be m 5, we cross multiply, we get 5m. To make it negative 10m, we can put minus here, so minus next to both 5's, multiply both sides, m and negative 5, you get m squared and 25 respectively. And so that means that this can be factored as m minus 5 squared. This will be multiplied by m minus 5 over m plus 4. So we can cancel out m plus 4, m minus 5 with one of the m minus 5's. And then we're left with m minus 4 over m minus 5. Here they ask for the value of a and b again. So m minus a over m minus b, m minus 4 over m minus 5. So the value of a is 4, value of b is 5. For this question we have x minus 3 over 1 divided by x squared minus 9 over x plus 9. We do keep, change, flip, so we keep the first rational expression, change the sign into multiplication, and flip the last fraction. So we're going to be left with x minus 3 over 1 multiplied by x plus 9 over x squared minus 9. We can factor only the x squared minus 9. We can change it into x minus 3 into x plus 3 because it's a difference of two squares. And then we can cancel out x minus 3 with x minus 3 to be left with x plus 9 over x plus 3. Here they ask for a and b again, and we have x plus 9 over x plus 3. So a will be 9 and b will be 3. Here for this question, we have x squared plus 4 over x, I think, minus 2 multiplied by x squared minus 4 over x squared plus 4x plus 4. Here we have to factor everything, so with the first fraction you can't cancel out this. The numerator is not difference of two squares, it's the addition of two squares, so we cannot factor it more than this. And the denominator we cannot factor, but we can factor x squared minus 4 here. It will become x minus 2 into x plus 2. So let me write the fraction. And then we have to do box method, x, 2 and 2. Cross multiply, get 2x and 2x. Plus and plus, that means it will be x plus 2 squared for the denominator. So we can cancel out x minus 2 and x minus 2. And then we can cancel out x plus 2 with one of the x plus 2's from the denominator. So we're going to be left with x squared plus 4 over x plus 2. Here you have to read the question properly because it says what is the value of the denominator in the resulting simplest form when x is equal to 5. So this is in simplest form already. So we just replace x with 5 in the denominator. So what's 5 plus 2? It's 7. So the value of the denominator is 7. For this next question, we have x squared plus 7x plus 12 over x squared minus 2x minus 15 multiplied by 3x minus 15 over 6. So we have to start by factorizing x squared plus 7x plus 12 using box method. So x and x, let's say 4 and 3, we cross multiply, we get 4x and 3x. We can add them both, it'll become 7x. So we're gonna replace it with x plus 4 into x plus 3. Now I factor the denominator. X, 15 factors of 15 are 5 and 3. 5x and 3x, so that it's negative 2x. We can put minus here and plus here, so minus next to the 5. So that means it can be written as x minus 5 into x plus 3. Multiplied by, you can factor this 3 out, x minus 5 over 6. So you can cancel out this x plus 3 with the x plus 3, x minus 5 with x minus 5, and the 3 with the 6. So we'll be left with x plus 4 over 2. The question they want us to find the value of k when the simplest form is written as x plus 4 over 2. We have it written as x plus k plus x over 2. Here we have x plus 4 over 2. So k is equivalent to 4. This question is slightly different to the other questions because we have to find the factored the numerator and denominator of every rational expression before finding the full simplest form answer. So first we need to find what's equivalent to 2a squared plus 10a plus 12 over a squared plus 3a minus 4. So what they mean by what is equivalent is we factor out the simplest form. So we factor using box method 2a and a. As well, let's try 6 and 2. so it will be 4a and 6a, so you can add them both. So that means the numerator will be 2a plus 6 into a plus 2. Oh wait, we could have factored this thing first using 2, but it's okay if you do it afterwards because you'll still get the same answer if you do it afterwards. So now I can factor 2a plus 6 into 2a plus 3 into a plus 2. It's usually easier if you factor it first. So now we take the denominator, factor using box method, a, 4, and 1, so a and 4a, to make a 3a positive, so negative a positive 4a, so negative next to the 1. So we're left with a plus 4 and a minus 1. A plus 4, a minus 1. So that will be the answer to the first part of the question. 2a plus 3 to a plus 2, a plus 4, a into a minus 1. So now we factor a squared minus 1 over a plus 2. Here we can only factor the numerator, it's difference of 2 squares, a squared minus 1 squared. So we can write it as a minus 1 to a plus 1 over a plus 2. So now I have to multiply these two together. So let me rewrite it so that it's easier to see. Wait, we need to select the answer first. A minus 1, a plus 1, a plus 2. A minus 1, a plus 1 over a plus 2. We cancel out a plus 2 with a plus 2. A minus 1 with a minus 1. We're left with 2 into a plus 3 over a plus 4. But we also have the a plus 1 at the top. Be careful not to forget anything. And the final answer, we have 2a plus box into a plus 1 over a plus 4. It's 3. For this question, we also have to find the simplest form of every fraction first. So we have m squared minus 2m plus 1 over 4m squared minus 9. For the for the numerator, we can factor using box method. Only possible combination is m, 1, 1. So cross multiply, you get m and m. To get negative 2m, we put minus on both of them. So I have m minus 1 squared as the numerator. M minus 1 squared. Then the numerator, we can use a difference of 2 squares. This is equal to 2m all squared minus 3 squared. So technically we can write this as 2m minus 3 into 2m plus 3. And that will be the answer of the first question. M minus 1, m minus 1, and 2m minus 3 into 2m plus 3. Next, for the next fraction, we have m minus 1 into 4m plus 6. This is a lot simpler. We can just leave the numerator and we can factor this, or you can factor the 2 out of the equation. We're left with 2m plus 3. So this will be the simplest form. So m minus 1 into 2m plus 3. So this would be the answer. So now we can divide m minus 1 and 2m plus 3. Careful for the sign. you need to read the question before doing, because you might use the wrong sign and get a completely different answer. So we do keep, change, flip. Now write the post KCF at the top. So you keep the numerator the same, over 2m minus 3. The first fraction will stay the same, multiplied by 2m plus 3 over m minus 1. So here we can factor out this and this. We can remove this power. Then we can cancel out 2m plus 3 into m plus 3. To be left with, I'll write at the bottom here, 2 into m minus 1 over 2m minus 3. Now here it says 2m minus box over 2m plus minus 3. So what they want for us to do is to distribute this back. So we'll be left with 2m minus 2 over 2m minus 3. So the answer would be 2. This question is a lot simpler. We just have 8m over 5 times 15 over 32m. So we can just 32m. We can cancel out m and m. 32 and 8 will become 1 and 4. 15 and 5 will become 1 and 3. So we're going to be left with 3 over 4. We want this written as k over k plus 1. So what they want is the numerator to be 1 less than the denominator. And that is true. We have 3 is 1 less than 4. So technically we can write this as 3 over 3 plus 1, where k is the constant, and the answer of k would be 3, because 3 plus 1 is equal to 4, and that is the answer. For this question, we need to be careful about the keep, change, flip. We have x squared minus 4 over x plus 3 divided by x plus 2. Keep, change, flip, we keep the first fraction the same, change the division into multiplication, and flip this last fraction. When it's not a fraction, it's technically just over 1, so we can flip these two around, so it will be 1 over k plus 2. So now we factor both of the fractions. We just need to factor the first numerator. Difference of 2 squares, x squared minus 2 squared, so it will be x minus 2 into x plus 2 over x plus 3 multiplied by 1 over x plus 2. Here they want to see the options, so we can cancel out x plus 2 and x plus 2. We'll be left with x minus 2 over x plus 3. And they also want to see what we're doing before we're cancelling and factoring. So we have x squared minus 4 times, x squared minus 4 over x plus 3 multiplied by 1 over x plus 2. That's an option. And then there's no other correct option. So that will be the answer. For this question, we have t over 4 divided by 5t over 9. T over 4, change this into multiplication, 9 over 5t, cancel out t, so we're going to be left with 9 over 20, where t is not equal to 0. So this is the correct answer. For the next part of the question, we have 16a over 63b minus 3 squared, all divided by 40a over 36b minus 3. So to keep, change, flip, 16a over 63b b minus 3 squared multiplied by 36 b minus 3 over 48. So we cancel out the a with the a, the b minus 3 squared with the b minus 3. So this over here is not 36, it's 63. We can cancel out 40 and 16, they're both divisible by 8, so it's going to be 2 and 5. And then we have 63 and 36, both divisible by 9. So we can divide both by 9, you get 7 and 4. So what you're going to be left with is 2 times 4, 8, over 7 times 5, 35. And then we have the b minus 3. A will not be equal to 0 because it got cancelled out. So this is the correct answer over here. Simplest form of 3t over 56 times 7t over 18t. This is again one of the simpler questions. We can cancel out t and t. 3 and 18 will be 1 and 6. 56 and 70 will be 4 and 5, since they're both divisible by 14. So we're going to have 5 over 24, and t is not equal to 0. So for this question, we have m minus 4 over 60n multiplied by 105n squared over 2m plus 4. m minus 4, sorry. We can immediately cancel out m minus 4 with m minus 4. N with n squared, so we'll have one n left at the top. We can simplify 60 and 105. They're both divisible by 15. So this is going to become 4, and this is going to become 7. So we're going to have 7n over 4 times 2 is 8. So we're going to have 7 over 8n, or 7n over 8, where n is not equal to 0 because we cancelled out in the denominator here. And m will not be equal to 4 because we cancelled out this m minus 4 in the denominator. For the last question, we have xy over 5 divided by 5y over 7x. So we do keep change flip, xy over 5 will be multiplying 7x over 5y. You can cancel out this y with this y, and then we're going to be left with 7x squared over 5. So here we have to find after we keep change flip. So we have this after we keep change flip, xy over 5 multiplied by 7x over 5y. And the final answer will be, not 7x squared over 5, it will be 5 times 5, it will be 25. So 7x squared over 25. There, now we're going to move on to 3.3. Okay, for this question, we have 50x minus 2 over 5x minus 3, all subtracting 18 over 5x minus 3. Here, because the denominator is the same, we can rewrite this as 50x squared minus 18 minus 5x, over 5x minus 3. We can factor the top into 25x minus 9, x squared minus 9, over 5x minus 3. And we can factor the top even more by using difference of two squares. So this is technically 25x squared minus 9 is 5x all squared minus 3 squared. So let me put space. So you can rewrite this as 5x minus 3 into 5x plus 3, all divided by 5x minus 3. You can cancel out 5x minus 3 with 5x minus 3, and we'll be left with 2 into 5x plus 3. We can distribute, and then we can get the answer, which is 10x plus 6. Here they want it to be written in the form ax plus b, so a will be 10 and b will be 6. Here we have to find the least common denominator of the fractions x squared over x squared minus 6x plus 8 and x cubed over x squared minus 9x plus 20. Here they're only asking us for the least common denominator of the fractions, so we completely disregard the numerators. So we factor this first one. So you have x and x, 4 and 2. Cross multiply, you get 4x and 2x. To get minus 8x, you put minus and minus. So minus next to the 4, minus next to the 2. Double check, multiply x and x, you get x squared. Negative 4, negative 2, we do get 8. So that means this can be rewritten as x minus 4 into x plus 2. And x squared minus 9x plus 20. Factors of x will be x and x. So x squared will be x and x, and 20 will be 5 and 4. Cross multiply, 5x, 4x. To get minus 9x, you put 2 minuses. Minus 5 here, minus 4 here. So we can rewrite that as x minus 5 into x minus 4. So least common denominator of the rational expressions, if we have something that's common, we take with the highest power, and everything that's not common, we take it all. So here we have x minus 4 common in both of them, and they're both raised to the power of 1 because there's no power. So we just write x minus 4 in parentheses. Then in the first fraction we have x minus 2, so you just drop it in immediately. Second fraction we have x minus 5, we also just drop it in immediately, and that will be our least common denominator. Here it's written in the form of x minus a into x minus b into x minus c. Here we have x minus 4 into x minus 2 into x minus 5. And because of the multiplication property, it doesn't matter in which order you put a, b, or c. So for us, we have 4, 2, and 5. It can be 2, 4, 5, 5, 4, 2, doesn't matter, as long as you have these answers. Here we have 5m over m minus 3 plus 2 into 2 over m squared minus 9. Because they don't have the same denominator, we have to find the least common denominator by factoring. So m minus 3 is simplest form. Then we have m squared minus 9, difference of two squares. So I can write this as m minus 3 into m plus 3. Least common denominator, we have m minus 3 common. So m minus 3, we just keep it there. And m plus 3, we just drop it in as well. So this will be our common denominator. So we go back to the first fraction. We need to change the fraction. We need to multiply both sides so that the denominator instead equals to this. Because we already have m minus 3 in the denominator, we can just multiply by m minus 3 on m plus 3 on both sides. So I multiply by m plus 3 multiplied by m plus 3. So I have 5m into m plus 3 over m minus 3 into m plus 3, or if you want, you can write m squared minus 9 plus 2 over m squared minus 9. So this is the same. If you want to write, you can do any of them. Now, after, we can rewrite this as 5m into m plus 3, all adding to 2. all over m minus 3 into m plus 3. So after this, we distribute first the numerator. 5m multiplied by m will be 5m squared, and 5m times 3 will be 15m plus 2 over m minus 3 over m plus 3. So here they want it in the form am squared plus bm plus c over the least common denominator, which they write as f into m. Here later on they say f into m is the least common denominator, so that means we just keep it like it is. Am squared will be 5m squared, bm is 15m, and c is 2. So we can write a is 5, b is 15, and c is 2. Here it says the rational expression 7 over 3xy squared may be expressed in the form xy to the power of n over 15 xy power 7. To get this, we have to find how to make 3xy squared multiplied by something turn into 15xy power 7. So 3 to turn into 5, we'll need to multiply it by 5. X stays as x, y power 3 becomes y power 7, so we need to multiply it by y power 4. So since we need to multiply the denominator by 5y power 4, we also do that to the numerator. So 7 times 5y to the power of 4 will be 35y power 4 over 15 xy power 7. And here it is exactly like xy power n over 15 xy power 7. So 35 would be k and 4 would be n. Here we have 5 over 12x minus 6 plus 2x plus 1 over 3. To make these denominators the same, we need to first factor this one. This one you can factor by 6, so 6 into x, 2x minus 1. And then we have just 3 here. So what's the least common denominator of the numbers? 6 and 3, the lowest common denominator would be 6. And then we drop down 2x minus 1. So this would be the least common denominator. Since this first one, the first denominator is already the least common denominator, we don't need to multiply that by anything. Well, we need to multiply this so that we can get 3 into 6 into 2x minus 1. To get 3 into 6 2x minus 1, we multiply 3 so that it becomes 6, so it will be multiplied by 2, and then 2x minus 1. So we multiply the top as well by 2 into 2x minus 1. Now let me erase and put the answer. After multiplying, we get 2 into 2x plus 1 into 2x minus 1 all over 12x minus 6, also equal to 6 into 2x minus 1, same thing. So you can distribute here. You find this, and you see that's a difference of 2 squares. So you can simplify this as is 2 into 4x squared minus 1 over 12x minus 6. Now we can rewrite this as 5 into, now we distribute as well, so we'll have 8x squared minus 1 over 12x minus 6. You can simplify 5 and 1. You will get 8x plus 4 over 12x minus 6. Now, let me erase everything else. So I made a mistake. I'll go back and delete this because I mistook this. So here I did the distribution mistake and I wrote 8x squared minus 2, it has to be, over 12 minus x. So 8x squared minus 3 over 12x minus 6. And that would be the final answer here. So 8x squared minus 3, here they want an ax squared plus bx plus c. Here I think they made a mistake because we don't have a bx. What they meant is probably b will be 0 because there is no bx. So here they also, in the question, they only ask for a and c. So that means we can just put a in here. So 8 and 3. Now for this question we have 5 over 4x plus 7 over 6x squared. And we need first to find the least common denominator. So for x and 6x squared, the least common from the constants 4 and 6 would be 12, and then we have just x and x squared. So we take the higher power, which will be x squared. So this would be the least common denominator. So now we need to multiply every single fraction on both sides so that their denominator would be equal to this. So the 12x squared. So 4x, so that it becomes 12x squared. We can multiply by 3x. So multiply by 3x as well. And for this, the second fraction, to become 12x squared, we just multiply by 2 on both sides. So we're gonna have 5 times 3x, 15x over 12x squared plus 14 over 12x squared. So you can rewrite this as 15x plus 14 over 12x squared. And here they ask for ax plus b. We have 15x plus 14. So a will be 15 and b would be 14. For this question we have y over 4 to y squared minus 1 minus 5y over 12 y minus 1 squared. So to take the least common denominator, we have the constants 4 and 12, which make the common 12. And then to factor y squared minus 1, we have y minus 1 into y plus 1. And here we have y minus 1 squared. So the common in here would be y minus 1. We take the one with a higher power, so y minus 1 squared into y plus 1, because that's what is not common, so we just drop it in. Here they ask what the LCD is, so we have this 12y minus 1 squared into y plus 1. So now we multiply whatever we need to each of the fractions. So here, to multiply, to make 4y squared minus 1 into 12y squared, y minus 1 squared into y plus 1. Here y squared minus 1 is y minus 1 into y plus 1. So all we need to multiply it with is 3, so 4 would become 12. So multiplied by 3, y minus 1 on both sides. So we don't need to write that because we already know. So you can write that at the bottom. Y into 3y into y minus 1 over the LCD, let's just say. And the second fraction we just multiplied by y plus 1, so 5y into y plus 1 over the LCD. So after we distribute, we're gonna get 3y squared minus 3y minus, its entirety would be negative, then 5y squared plus 5y, so this would all be negative. So technically it would be 3y squared minus 3y minus 5y squared minus 5y. This is still all over the LCD. So we can fill in the blanks here. 3y squared minus 3y minus 5y squared minus 5y. And when we simplify the common variable with the common variable power. So we have 3 minus minus 5. You get minus 2y squared minus 3y minus 5y. You get minus 8y. So you get minus 2y squared minus 8y over the LCD. And then here we can delete all of this for now. It says we have negative y squared minus something y, let's just say xy, over 6 y minus 1 squared y plus 1. Here look, we can still factor this. It'll be 2 into y, negative y power 2 minus 4y. Usually you would factor with the negative sign outwards, but here I noticed that both of these are negative in the part C, so I would keep the negative inside. And because because the LCD has 12 in it, 12 as the constant, I can cancel this out and it'll become 1 and 6. So we're going to be left with negative y squared minus 4y over 6 y minus 1 squared over y into y plus 1. So the x here will just be 4 because 8 over 2 is 4. Here we need to find the least common denominator of 10z power 5, 35z power 2. Here they only tell us to find the least common denominator, so we don't care about the numerators right now. And the denominator, the least common denominator, will be equal to kz power n. So what's the common from 10 and 35? It would be 70. So, and then we take the largest power of z. Largest power of z here is 5. So it will be 70z power 5. So k will be 70 and n would be 5. In this question we have 5p plus 10 over, 5p over p plus 2 plus 10 over p plus 2. We can rewrite this as 5p plus 10 all over p plus 2. We can factor the numerator, keep the 5 out, and then p plus 2 all over p plus 2, so we can cancel out p plus 2, and p plus 2 will be left with just 5, with p not being equal to negative 2. Here we need to find the LCD of two fractions. Here we have 14a power 3b and 6ab squared cubed. Again, since we only need to find the LCD, we don't care about the numerator, so I'm not gonna write them. So the common between 14 and 6 would be 42, because 14 times 3 would be 42, and 6 times 7 would be 42. So a, and then we take the largest power of every variable, so a would be a cubed and b would also be b cubed. So this would be the LCD. Here, 42 a cubed b cubed. For the second part, we have 7 over 2, sorry, wait, I won't write the numerator. 12a cubed b cubed and 16ab, and we need to find the LCD. So common of 12 and 16, the lowest common would be 48. 12 times 4 would be 48, and 16 times 3 would be 48. And then we take the highest power of every variable again, so we'll have a cubed and b cubed. So that would be our answer. So 48a cubed b cubed. Next question, we have 1 over 3x plus 5 over 3x. This one's really easy, just put 1 plus 5 all over 3x. 6 over 3x. We can cancel out 6 and 3, we'll get 2 over 1x. So 2 over x. We fill in the blanks, 1 plus 5 would be 6. And 6 divided by 3 is 2 over x. Second part, we have 4x plus 16. We can immediately write it since it has the same denominator as 4x plus 16 over x plus 4. So I can fill in this blank immediately. We can factor and take the 4 out of the numerator, so 4 into x plus 4, because we divide everything by 4, all over x plus 4. We can fill in the blank as well. Then cancel out x plus 4 and x plus 4, and we'll be just left with 4. Now for the last question, we have 4 over x minus 4 plus 4 over x minus 4 squared. For the least common denominator, we just take the common with the highest power. So in this case, it would be x minus 4 all squared. So all we need to do is multiply this first fraction by x minus 4, so it will become the denominator x minus 4 squared. So after you multiply, you'll get 4 into 4x minus 4. You add that with 4, and that's going to be all over x minus 4 squared. So after you distribute, you'll have 4x minus 16 plus 4. And then you add negative 16 and 4, you'll be left with 4x minus 12. You can factor take the 4 outside, and you'll be left with 4 into x minus 3 over 4x minus 4 squared. Now we have to find the simplest form. Since the denominator is the same, you can immediately write it like this: 1 plus 11 all over 4k. So 12 over 4k. Cancel out 4 and 12, so 3 and 1, so we'll just have 3 over k. Next you have 6y plus 36 all over y plus 6. Again, we have the same denominator, we can just instantly keep it like this. And take the 6 out of the numerator, you have 6 into y plus 6. All over y plus 6, so you cancel y plus 6 with y plus 6, you'll be left with just 6. 6 and y will not be equal to negative 6. So now I have the same denominator again. So here you have 20s plus 25 plus 4s squared all over 2s plus 5 cubed. Now we need to rewrite the numerator in standard form, which means highest variable power first. So we'll have 4s squared first, followed by 20s, followed by just 25. Now we factor using box method, because we don't have any like DCMF to factor first. So we have 4s squared, we'll try 2s and 2s. And we'll also try 5 and 5. Cross multiply, you have 10s and 10s. You can add them both. So we'll have 2s plus 5 squared over 2s plus 5 cubed. So once we cancel out, we'll have just 1 over 2s plus 5 left. That will be the final answer in simplest form. We made a mistake. Well, it looks like for some reason in the quiz you can only write in a specific order. So we'll just have to write 2, 4, 5. And for this question, what's wrong? I accidentally wrote the denominator value. You have to read the question properly. It says n, and for n we have the y power to the power of 4. Why is this so wrong? You have to write it in a specific order, as I said. So you can't write it in 2, 4, 5. For some reason, it just says you have to write it in 5, 4, 2. I'm not sure if they will fix this for the periodic, but we just have to live with this question being like this. Now we're going to do 3.4. So the first question, we have 3 minus 18 over x all over x minus 6. So for the numerator of the big fraction, we need to make an LCD. So we have 3 over 1 minus 18 over x. So to make the LCD, we just have to multiply 3 by x and 1 by x. So you can rewrite this as 3x minus 18 over x. So now we can write it as 3x minus 18 over x divided by x minus 6 over 1. We can do keep, change, flip now. We change the divide into times, and we flip the second fraction, so we'll have 1 over x minus 6. We can factor 3x minus 18 by keeping the 3 outside, so you'll have 3 into x minus 6. You can factor this and this. You'll be left with the 3 over x. So for the first question, by which of the following expressions does it make sense to multiply both the numerator and the denominator of 3 minus 18 over x all over x minus 6 in order to simplify it? Here they're asking what we need to multiply 3 by to get the LCD in the top numerator. So what we multiplied 3 by to get 3x minus 18 over x is by x. Next, we have what is the equivalent to this. So technically what they're asking for is the simplest form. This is the simplest form, and x would not be equal to 6 because we cancelled by x minus 6. The complex fraction 1 over 3 minus 1 over 6 all over 5 over 4 is equivalent to a simple fraction 2 over k. So the top we have the LCD. We need to make the LCD. What's an LCD of 3 and 6? It would be 6. So we need to multiply 1 over 3 by 2 on both sides. So it will become 2 over 6 minus 1 over 6 all over 5 over 4. So we can simplify this to be 1 over 6 all over 5 over 4. We can rewrite this as 1 over 6 divided by 5 over 4. Again, we can do keep, change, flip. So 1 over 6 times 4 over 5. You can simplify 4 and 6. It will become 3 and 2. So you're going to be left with 2 over 15. What they wanted at the start is 2 over k. So we can just write 2 over 15 here. So k would be 15. Here we have 1 minus 1 over u all over 1 minus 2 over u plus 1. We need to find which is equivalent to each of the parts of the big fraction. So what they want is the simplest form of the top fraction using the LCD. So to make 1 over 1 minus 1 over u have a common LCD, we have to multiply 1 over 1 by u on both sides. So it'll be u over u minus 1 over u, or you can just simplify and write it like 1 over u all over u. And that will be the answer to A. Next, we have to find what's equivalent to the denominator. Here we have 1 over 1 minus 2 over u plus 1. So to make 1 over 1 have the same denominator as u plus 1, 2 over u plus 1, we multiply both sides by u plus 1. So this will become u plus 1 minus 2 all over u plus 1. So you can write this, I'll write it here, I'll write it u minus 1 over u. So u minus 1 over u plus 1, sorry. So this. Now I can erase all of this. And we can rewrite this big fraction as u minus 1 over u divided by u minus 1 over u plus 1. We do keep change flip, you get u minus 1 over u multiplied by u plus 1 over u minus 1. Cancel, cancel. You'll be left with u plus 1 over u. Here they ask for u plus what over u. The answer of the box would be 1. For this question, it's slightly confusing, so we have 9 minus 16y to the power of negative 2 all over, I think what's written is 3 over y minus 4y to the power of negative 2. So what they mean by negative 2 power, so we can rewrite the numerator is 9 minus 16 over y to the power of 2. We don't move it completely to the bottom fraction. We make 16 over y squared. And then we can do the LCD, 9 over 1 to become y power 2 as a denominator. You can multiply by y power 2. So we have 9y squared minus 16 over y squared. Let's rewrite it. We have 9y squared minus 16 over y squared. That's a small fraction. And then we have the denominator as well. We have 3 minus y. You can rewrite this as minus 4 over y squared. So for y to become y squared, we multiply by another y. So we can rewrite this part as 3y over y squared. So we can as well rewrite this as 3y minus 4 all over y squared. Then we can put this here, so 3y minus 4 over y squared. And then we can rewrite this entire thing as 9y squared minus 16 over y squared divided by 3y minus 4 over y squared. We do keep change flip. No, let me just delete this so that I'll have more space to write. We'll have 9y squared minus 16 over y squared multiplied by y squared over 3y minus 4. Now we have to factor 9y squared minus 16. It's difference of two squares. It is 3y all power 2 minus 4 power 2. So we can just rewrite this as 3y minus 4 into 3y plus 4. And now you can start simplifying. Y squared and y squared, 3y minus 4 and 3y minus 4. We'll be left with just 3y plus 4. We want to know what my plus n is. We have 3y plus 4, my plus n, so 3 will be m, and 4 will be n. For this question, we have 5 minus 5x over 2, all over 8 minus 4x. So what they want us to do is 5 minus 1 into, so that the 1 in the denominator becomes a 2. You multiply this on both sides by 2, so we'll have 10 over 2 minus 5x over 2. So we can just rewrite this as 10 minus 5x over 2, all over 8 minus 4x. We can rewrite this as 10 minus 5x over 2 divided by 8 minus 4x over 1. Going to keep change flip. Then we will get multiplied by 1 over 8 minus 4x. Then we can simplify, we can factor 10 minus 5x. Take the 5 outside, you'll get 2 minus x. Also do that with the denominator, 8 minus 4x. Take the 4 out. You have 4 into 2 minus x. You can cancel 2 minus x with 2 minus x. You'll be left with 5 over 8. So what they want written is, again, 10 minus 5x over, they moved the 2 to the other side, so they multiplied the bottom by 2. So they'll have 16 minus 8x. So they'll have 5 into 2 minus x, and 8 into 2 minus x, and equals 5 over 8. I personally would do it like this, but for them, they saw this 2 and they just moved it to the other side and multiplied with the 8 minus 4x. If you want to do that method, do that, but I find my method way more efficient and easier to understand. This question, we have 3 minus 1 over 12 over 4 plus 1 over 6. I'll do this one with their method, the one that they use to get these fill in the blanks. So 3 over 1 will have 4 over 1 as well here. So multiply 12 by 1. So I multiplied this 12 on both sides. So I can get 3 times 12, 36 over 12. So you can rewrite this entire thing as 36 minus 1 over 12. And we do multiply the bottom by 6 on both sides. So I'll have 24 over 6. So, and then we can remove all of this and put 24 like this. Then they move, I think what they do is they do 36 minus 1 over 24 plus 1 multiplied by 6 over 12, I think, or 12 over 6, I'm not sure. So they cancel out 1, 2, and then they'll make it like this. And then they'll do 35 over 48. So they do like this. So 24 plus 1 would be 25. They multiply it by 2. So 25 multiplied by 2 would be 50. Then you can cancel out 50 and 35. They can both be divided by 5. You get 7, and then you get 10. Now you can fill in the blanks. 36 minus 1. This is after multiplying this into this and this into this. So 36 minus 1 over 48 plus 2. So you get 35 over 50, or 7 over 10. Again, I don't really find this method really effective. I'm just using it so that it's easier to do the fill in the blanks. Here we have to find our answers of fraction in lowest terms. Here we need to not get confused from where the big fraction is. Here we have 1 over 8 big fraction 4 because it's next to the equal sign. When it's next to the equal sign, then this is the big fraction, so this is the big fraction. We can rewrite this as 1 over 8 all divided by 4 over 1. We do keep change flip. You get 1 over 8 multiplied by 1 over 4 equals 1 over 32. Next question, we have 1 over 4 minus 1 over 5 all over 4 over 5 plus 1 over 2. So we find the LCD of 1 over 4 minus 1 over 5. The LCD would be 20. So you multiply 4 by 5 to get 20. So you multiply both sides by 5. So you get 5 over 20. And you divide the second fraction by 4 to get 20 as a denominator. So 4 over 20. So I can rewrite this as 1 over 20 instantly. And then the bottom, the common denominator would be 10. So you multiply the first fraction by 2 to get 10. So you have 8 over 10. You multiply the second by 5. So you get 5 over 10. You can instantly add the 8 and the 5. You will get 13 over 10. So you can rewrite this as 1 over 20 all divided by 13 over 10. Keep change flip. We move the divide into the times, and then you'll have 10 over 13. Cancel 10 with 20. You'll have 1 here and 2 here. So you'll be left with 1 over 26. We have now, for the last equation, we have 3 minus 9 over x, all over x minus 3. So we do the common denominator. We multiply, so the common denominator of 1 and x would be just x. So we multiply this by x. We can rewrite this as 3x minus 9 over x. We can rewrite this as 3x minus 9 over x divided by x minus 3 over 1. And keep change flip. You'll change this into a multiplication, and then we flip this fraction. You get 1 over x minus 3. You can factor 3x minus 9, take the 3 out. X minus 3, cancel them out, and you'll be left with 3 minus x. X will be not equal to 3. Now we're going to do 3.5. Now we have the expression x cubed minus 8 over x squared minus 3x. Here we have to find the roots or excluded values. So roots means numerator equals 0. It's roots. And if denominator equals to 0, then it will be excluded value of x. So here it says the expression, first option says expression has two roots, one at x equals negative 2 and other at x equals 2. So for x cubed minus 8, we need to find the non-expanded form, the factored form of x cubed minus 8, which is a minus b. This is for the cubes. Then a squared plus ab plus b squared. We can replace a with x, b with 2 because 2 cubed is 8. So x minus 2 into x squared plus 2 plus x, 2 times x is 2x. 2 squared is 4. So you have to find the root, which one each 0 makes. So x minus 2 has to equal to 0. So we move 2 to the other side, we get x equals 2. So that would be one of the values of x to make it a root. Now to get x, we can factor this first, I think. X, 2 and 2. You can do 2x and 2x. I actually think you can't factor this more, so I think this would be simplest form, because I don't think you can get anything more than this, so this has no solution. So the roots of x can have only one root, so that means it'll be x equals 2. And then now we need to check how many excluded values it has, if it has any. So we can factor x squared minus 3x. Minus 3x. If we make this equals to 0, then it'll be an excluded value. So we can factor x out. We'll be left with x minus 3 inside. So each of these values has to be equal to 0. So x equals to 0 and x minus 3 equals to 0. So move 3 to the other side, you'll have x equals 3. So that means the excluded values will be 0 and 3. So which means that to make the expression equal to 0, then you can only have x equals 2. And to make the expression undefined, you can make x 0 and x 3. So for this one, we have 1 over 1 plus 16 over x equals 12 over x minus 4. To make this easier, I'll take 12x minus 4, move it to the other side. So we can rewrite this as 1 over 1 plus 16 over x minus 12 over x minus 4, all equal to 0. So we find the LCD. So the LCD, the constant value would be 1, so we ignore it. So we have x, and then we have x minus 4, so this would be the LCD. So we multiply 1 by this to get the LCD. So the first fraction would be x into x plus 4 over x into x plus 4 plus 16. 16 we multiply by x minus 4. Let's remove this and write that this 16 over x, we can change it into add this 16 x minus 4 over the LCD, let's say, because it's here, and 12x minus 4, you can just put minus 12x over the LCD. This is all equal to 0. So once we write it in simpler form, we can, let me put this back. Let's remove this and write it full. So x into x, so here's not plus 4, it's minus 4, x minus 4 plus 16 into x minus 4. Let me write it where there's more space. So x into x minus 4 plus 16 into x minus 4 minus 12x all over the LCD. This all is equal to 0. Now if we distribute, this will become x squared minus 4x plus 16x minus 64 minus 12x. So once we completely finish distributing, and then we cancel, so minus 4x with 16x, it'll become 12x. And then 12x will cancel with 12x, so we can just remove this entirely. And then we'll be left with x squared minus 64 as the numerator. So the solutions, what they mean here is just the root. So x squared minus 64, we can factor that as this difference of two squares. So x minus 8 into x plus 8. Both of these parts should be equal to 0. And then we put x minus 8 equals to 0. So x minus 8 equals to 0. Move 8 to the other side. X will be equal to 8. Then we have x plus 8 equals 0. So move 8 to the other side, 8 will become negative, so x could become negative 8. Don't just finish there. We need to check on the denominator, which is this. If we put 8, will any of them become 0? Because if it becomes 0, it's undefined, and it will not be a solution. So 8 into 8 minus 4 would be 8 times 4, 32. Now if we put that negative, let's try it negative. Negative 8 into negative 8 minus 4. So negative 8 times negative 12. So it'll be positive 96. None of these are equal to 0. So the solutions are x equals 8 and x equals negative 8. For this question, we have 3 over 2x minus 1 over 4 equals 2 over x squared. Again, I'll take this and move it to the other side. So I'll have minus 2 over x squared equals 0 instead. So then we take the LCD, constant LCD would be 4. Then we have x and x squared. We take the highest power, so it would be 4x squared. So for the first number, so first denominator, 2x to become 4x squared, we multiply by 2x, so the denominator would be 4x squared, so I'll just write LCD, and then numerator multiply by 2x, will become 6x, so minus 1 over 4, so 1 over 4 to become the denominator 4x squared, multiply the numerator by x squared, so we'll have x squared. This will be over the LCD again. And then here we have x squared. We need it to become 4x squared. So we multiply by 4. So we'll have LCD. 2 multiplied by 4 would be 8. Then we can write this in a simpler form with 6x minus x squared minus 8 all over the LCD equals to 0. Now I can rewrite this in standard form. So that means the highest power will go first. So negative x squared plus 6x minus 8. For me, it would be easier to factor the minus out. So we'll have negative out. So x squared would be positive. 6x will become negative and 8 will become positive. Then we factor using box method. X and x. Then 8 will become 4 and 2. 4x and 2x to become negative 6x. 2 negatives. So negative with the 4, negative with the 2. X and x multiply, you get x squared, and negative 4, negative 2. It'll become positive 8. So you can rewrite this as x minus 4 into x minus 2 equals to 0. So the solution set, so that's what solutions this has. So we do this x minus 4 equals 0 and x minus 2 equals 0. Move 4 to the other side, you'll have x equals 4. X minus 2 equals 0, move 2 to the other side, you get x equals 2. So the solution set would be 2 and 4. Here we need to find how many roots a rational expression has. So that means that how many different values of x or a variable can you put at the top in the numerator so that it would be equal to 0. So for the first one, we have 1 over 3 plus x. there is no possible way to get the numerator to be equal to 0. So that means all you can do is just say it has no roots and leave it and move on to the next one. Next one, we have 2x minus 1 over 5. We need to find how many roots this has. So 2x minus 1 equals 0. Is there a way to make it 0? Yes. 2x equals 1. Divide both sides by 2. X equals 1 over 2. And that's the only root it has, so it's only one root. Only when x is equal to 1 over 2 will the rational expression be equal to 0. Now for the last rational expression, we need to factor the numerator using box method. So we can put x and x. 6 has factors 3 and 2. Cross multiply, get x plus 3 and x plus, you get 3x plus 2x, so both plus, and then you'll be able to factor it as x plus 3 into x plus 2. Here we don't need to solve it when you have like two parts of the, so two blocks multiplying each other with x, then that's not the number of roots that they have. So here we have two roots, so it's more than one, so you put more than one root. Now for this question, you have x squared minus 8x over x plus 1 equals 0. We need to solve for x. So we factor the top. You have x outside into x minus 8 all over x plus 1 equals 0. So what we need to find is values of x that will make it equal to 0 but not undefined. So we have x here alone, so that means it will be equal to 0 immediately. So 1 equals to 0. And then x minus 8 is also equal to 0. Move 8 to the other side, you get x is equal to 8. Now I try that on the denominator. 0 plus 1, it's not equal to 0. So that means 0 is a factor. Now I try 8. It is also not equal to 0. So that means that the correct values of x will be 0 or 8. Next we have x squared minus 8x over x minus 8. We have the same numerator as last time. You can immediately put x into x minus 8 over x minus 8. So here we get the roots again, so the roots of x would be x equals 0 and x equals 8. Now we try that on the denominator. 0 minus 8, is it equal to 0? No, it's not, so 0 would be a root. Now we try 8 minus 8, it is equal to 0, so 8 will not be a root. So the only correct solution would be x equals 0. Now for the next one, we have x squared minus 10x plus 24 over x minus 4. We have to find when it is not defined and when it is equal to 0. So we find the numerator, we factor with box method, x and x, 6 and 4, cross multiply. So we have 6x and 4x. We need to get negative 10x and minus. X times x equals x squared. Negative 6 times negative 4 is equal to 24, so this is correct. So we can immediately write x minus 6, x minus 4 over x minus 4. So roots would be x minus 6 equals 0, so x would be equal to 6. And x minus 4 equals 0. And so that means x would be equal to 4. Now we try down the denominator. 6 minus 4 equals 2. So it's not 0, so 6 is a root. And 4 minus 4 equals 0. So that means 4 makes it not defined. 4 makes it not defined and 6 makes it equal to 0. Here for this question, we have the solution set of x over 3 plus x over 15 equals 4. Move 4 to the other side. X over 3 plus x over 15 minus 4 over 1 equals 0. We need to find the common denominator. 3, 15, and 1, the common is 15. So what do you multiply 3 by to get 15? 5. So you remove this, you get 5x over 15 plus x over 15. That's already the denominator, the LCD. So multiply 1 and 4 both by 15, get 60 and 15. So you put this together, you get 6x minus 60 over 15 equals 0. Factor the 6 out, so you get 6 into x minus 10 over 15. So x minus 10 is the only thing that could equal to 0 because 6 is never equal to 0. So take x minus 10 equal to 0. So x would be equal to 10. 15 as the LCD, it can never be 0, so it's always defined. It can only be 0 in one value of x, and the value of x is 10. Here we have x over 4 plus x plus 3 over 5 equals x plus 12 over 20. So we move this to the other side, so it'll become minus x plus 12 over 20 equals 0. So the LCD would be 20, so you multiply this by 5, so 5x over 20, then x plus 3 over 5 multiplied by 4, 4 and then 4 out, and then this stays the same, so you can rewrite this as 5. We can distribute over, so you'll have 4x plus 12, then minus, so minus goes outside, then x plus 12 inside, all over the LCD, which is 20. So the minus will distribute, so you can remove the parentheses and put the minus here. So now we can add up, so 5x plus 4x minus x would be 8x. 12 minus 12 will just be 0, so 8x over 20, 8x equals 0, so we can just remove the 8 by dividing by 8 on both sides. 0 divided by any number is always 0, so x will be 0, and that's the only value of x. For the possible roots of x squared minus 4, they're asking for how many roots as well, not what root it is. So you need to be careful while reading the question. Here you can factor the numerator, difference of two squares, so x minus 2 into x plus 2, all over x plus 2. So you take the roots, this should be equal to 0. So x minus 2 equals to 0. So x equals to 2. Then we try x plus 2 equals to 0. So x could be equal to negative 2 as well. So we try on the denominator, so 2 plus 2 equals 4, so it's not 0. So 2 is a root, and then negative 2 plus 2 is equal to 0, so negative 2 is not a root. So the only root is x equals 2, and that is only 1, so there's only one possible root. Now for this one, we have 2x squared minus 18x over x equals 0. So we factor the numerator, we take 2x out, we keep x in minus 9 all over x. So we take 2x equals 0, divide both sides by 2. So x would be equal to 0, that means. And then we also have x minus 9 equals to 0. So x equals to 9. So you try on the denominator. If x equals to 0, so 0 is the denominator, so that's not a correct value. So x equals 9, so 9 would be the denominator, and that would not make the expression undefined. So x would be 9 here. Okay, 0 mistakes. So that's it for the algebra periodic. I know there's a lot of material, but in the end it's very simple. I don't think it's very hard to understand. Thanks for watching. Bye.